So BBIG stock has doubled in the past 3 days, and a lot of people are wondering, when is it time to lock in profits? Is it too late to get in for the short squeeze for another potential trading opportunity? And when is it time to be bearish? When is it time to consider buying put options? So this video is going to give you a much better understanding on when to be bullish, when to buy the call options, when to be bearish, when to buy the put options. This is really going to walk you through how price action works and how to trade both ways. It's going to give you a much better understanding on what key levels to be trading at. For those of you who follow this channel, you are well aware I actually recommended to invest into BBIG stock at $3.08. Once it fell to $2.70 shortly after making that investment due to the market crashing, I decided to cut my losses quickly because that's my style of trading and investing. But I did recommend that, and I also had stated to PROG investors to switch over to BBIG as it had a much better chance of squeezing for the time being. So the squeeze has finally occurred, and within this video, I am simply going to walk you through the price action. I am going to show you how the price action is going to work both ways. I'm going to show you what needs to happen for the bulls to remain in control. I'm going to show you what needs to happen for the bears to take control. So let's get right into it. So you guys need to be aware, a lot of people are moving over to a potential squeeze play, and a lot of them are moving over to BBIG. These people are coming from, AMC bag holders, right? A lot of people are moving over to this stock. The volume has increased substantially. As you can see right here, the run began on January 12th. The volume was at 34 million. Day after that, it's at 145 million. And then it went to 205 million. So one thing I want you to understand is once the volume fades, the price is going to fade with it. So when you see this massive push up in volume, once that volume cannot surpass itself, the stock is really going to start to have a major trend reversal and really start to crash and come back down to reality. Just to show you an example, this was the peak of the volume right here on BBIG. If you look at the past, it was at 330 million. It got to a high of $10. And as you can see, the volume did not go above. It almost did right here. It almost did right here. But if you look at the overall price direction ever since that occurred, it was pretty much for the most part nothing but a downtrend. It did go to 1250, but you don't want to hold through those massive crashes and then even more downside crash in the future, right? So that's one thing I want you to understand about volume. Here's another example, like with AMC. When AMC has this massive move up, like BBIG is doing right now, you could see once the volume really topped out, there wasn't too much more upside potential. So just keep that in mind moving forward on this. You want to pay attention to the volume. Now, in terms of the charts, key resistance levels and key critical levels, I want you to understand your key level heading into Tuesday at market open is going to be this key level right here. We're going to call it $3.91. So what I want you to understand is BBIG had a massive gap down from 391 and it crashed and it sold off very, very quickly, very, very hard to the low twos. So if we can continue to hold this 391 level, react as a support level, continue to stay above this level, instead of having that big downside move for the short period of time, we're going to have a big upside move where we go to $5 to potentially $6. Now, in order for that to happen, we have to continue to turn 391 into the floor. So in terms of your key levels, this is what I want you to understand. Your key level is 391. That is that key critical level where the bulls need to stay above and they need to hold it. If they can do that for the macro price action, meaning for like more of the, longer term side of the trade, like where the stock price is going for the overall week, if they can do that, this will be on track for $5 plus. It just needs to stay above 391. Now, if you see 391 crack and turn into a resistance level, that is extremely bearish, and that is a sign that the bears are really trying to take control for the macro side of the move. So right now, I want you to understand the bulls, they're in control for the macro, but the bears will step in and they will take control for that macro move if they can crack 390 and turn it into a resistance level. The next level it'll drop to, if that happens, is 370, and then the stock turns very, very bearish If 370 cracks and turns into resistance, it goes to 353. If 353 cracks and turns into resistance, this play is basically over. The most I would risk if you were in on this particular stock, the most I would risk is 370. If you want to risk a little bit more than 350, that's the absolute most I would risk. So just to understand, those are the key critical levels in terms of understanding. Now let's talk about the upside potential for BBIG. If we can continue to stay above 390, that is extremely bullish. We will be on track for a breakout above 432. Once we break above 432, say this gaps up on Tuesday, and as long as this gaps up, this will most likely hit $5 a share. So I want you to understand that is a key major resistance level with huge downside potential. There's been multiple occurrences where BBIG stock has gapped up into the fives and it has sold off very, very hard. And that was the beginning of a major, trend reversal and the beginning of the bears taking control for the macro side of the move. So $5 is going to be a key resistance level. If that can break out and turn into support, your next level it is going to fill the gap. There's a gap to fill right here at $6 a share. If you see 6 react as a resistance level, that's a hard sell, and it's really going to get crushed if that were to happen. If 6 turns into a support level, then it's really going to explode and fill this gap right here from $7.78. So in terms of my point of view, for the current situation, I really think at this point, the most this stock can do is double in price, where it can get to like $8, more realistically $6. However, history has shown that BBIG has been proven, and this is one of the solid reasons why I chose this as an investment from a technical view. It has a strong foundation of filling every single gap that is waiting to fill above. It does lack the chart history, but there's no doubt this stock can spike very, very big in a short period of time. And for the most part, as time goes on, this stock does a very, very good job of filling the gaps over time. You have a gap to fill at 6, you have a gap to fill at 778, and then the last gap is at 959, which would be the absolute best price to short and buy put options on this stock. So basically, heading into Tuesday, the key thing I'm going to look for is reactions towards key critical levels, and I'm going to be paying attention to the volume. So for the bulls to really, remain in that control, you want to see an increase, a push in volume. So that's going to be my main focus, heading into Tuesday. But yeah, we'll see if this gaps up, we should hit 5. But yeah, this should give you a much better understanding. Just understand in terms of like right now for this overall move, 390 is your key level. It just needs to stay above and hold 390. If it can do that, we'll be on track for $5 into this week. If $5 break out and holds, then it goes to 6 to fill the gap. But yeah, so far so good. In terms of a possibility that we could see, say this is red in terms of tomorrow, say it gaps down. If this gaps down tomorrow, if the stock gaps down tomorrow, I'm going to wait for it to go back up to the previous closing price, which is $4.07. And if it hits 407 and reacts as a resistance level, I'm going to do a short-term trade where I buy some put options, because what can happen in this particular situation is something like this, where BBIG has this very, very nice move up in the low 2s to 4s like it did in Study the Pattern. It's a very similar pattern. And then on that 4th day, it's a red day, and you could see once it goes back up to that previous closing price, it has a reversal, and then it starts selling off, which is a very nice trading opportunity for a put option. And then you could see it starts to bottom out and it explodes again. So that's another possibility. So if it gaps down tomorrow, that's my plan from a put option point of view. If it gaps up tomorrow, I really don't want to chase it. It just depends on how high this is gapping up tomorrow. If it gaps up tomorrow and we can get to like, $4.30, it doesn't go too far away, then I'll considering buying call options. So if we gap up tomorrow, I'm extremely bullish for the day. I think we go to 5. If we gap down tomorrow, I'm extremely bearish, and I think the bears are really going to start to gain some control for the short term being, but then it can easily rip back up for the midterm sense. As of now, we are up in after hours. It's at $4.20. So we are on track for a gap up. We're just going to have to see. You got a lot of resistance right here, but that's where I stand. That's my point of views. Gap up, bullish, going to 5s. Gap down, bearish, looking for it to go back to previous closing price to buy put option at resistance with a very, very tight stop loss. So that's my kind of trading sense for this tomorrow. The option chain is booming, on both sides, on the call side and the put side. Obviously, a lot more people are buying calls. With that being said, if you were to trade the options, if you're looking to swing trade, I would go with February 18th. That's going to be like the perfect time frame for this, and a lot of volume is there. That's what I would consider for the swing trade is February 18th. Day traders, I would look into January 21st to January 28th. All depends on your risk tolerance and timing of the trading strategy. But yeah, that's my thoughts on BBIG stock. If you guys enjoyed this video and liked it a lot, make sure you subscribe and like the video. And I will see you guys in the next one. I'm about to make another video coming very, very soon today.